Manchester United 1, Leeds United 2. And unfortunately, we're not coming away with the 3 points. It was a poor start to the game in terms of the first half. But before we get into that, let's speak a little bit about the starting lineup. So you had Lemens starting net. Had a back four of Mazraoui, Yoro, Martinez and Shaw. Two in midfield, Casemiro and Ugarte. And then Ahmad, Bruno Fernandes and Cunha making up the front three in behind Sesco. So the only changes from my lineup was that Ahmad, Ugarte and Martinez started ahead of Mbumo, Mainu and Heaven. So I had Heaven in there due to Harry Maguire's suspension because he was sent off against Bournemouth. And then Mainu as well. I'm not sure the reason why he wasn't included in the matchday squad. Possibly an injury, I'm not sure. And then I had Mbumo start ahead of Ahmad as well. But in terms of the first half, the damage was done in the first half, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it was a poor start to the match. We go 1-0 down in the 5th minute. And Leeds United, they already had a chance before that in the 3rd minute or something. But Bogle is released down the right side and the wing back sends a first time cross into the middle, and with Euro distracted by Calvert-Lewin's near post run, a ricochet off the defender allows Okafor to ghost in behind him and slot home. So it was a poor goal defensively that Man United gave up. We were kind of second to every ball there. Leeds already had a chance, I think, in the 3rd minute, and it was a little bit disappointing that we went 1-0 down so early on, unfortunately. And then in the 12th minute, Darlow has to make a save in the 12th minute. Ahmad's early run in behind is spotted by Casemiro, who picks out the Ivorian with a clipped ball over the top. He steps inside Bichol before taking aim from the edge of the box, but his left-footed curler is held by Darlow. And then, unfortunately, Cunha is booked for a dive. He gets a yellow card, which is the correct decision. Don't want to see players diving. Unfortunately, it was the correct decision. Cunha picks up the yellow card, and then he's on a tightrope basically up until the end of the game. Then Okafor makes it 2-0. The Man United box is absolutely peppered with attempts by Leeds. Justin's delivery for Calvert-Lewin is cut out. Aronson's shot from Ampadu's from an Ampadu interception is blocked, and Goodmanson's cross is half-headed clear after Okafor's header back into the box is headed out by Martinez and nodded down by Aronson. Okafor lashes a 20-yard volley back towards goal, and it takes a wicked deflection of Lenny Yoro, unfortunately, and it takes the ball past Lemens into the bottom corner to make it 2-0 Leeds. And then in the 40th minute, Leeds have another chance to make it 3-0. Leeds have a good chance to make it 3-0. Aronson's wide pass puts Bogle in acres of space. He stands it up at the far post for Calvert-Lewin. The England striker climbs high to get his head to it, but can't keep his looping header down, and it sails wide. Then 5 minutes later in the 45th minute, there's another chance to make it 3-0 Leeds, and they possibly could have been completely out of sight in the first half. That's how poor Man United were in the first half, in my opinion. Lisandro Martinez has to make a goal line clearance, and it's a potential game saver by Martinez as well at the time. So Leeds are gifted possession on the edge of the box when Yoro's rushed clearance is cut out by Tanaka, with the Japanese international driving towards goal. He slaloms past Lemens and prepares to put it in from close range, but Martinez slides in from nowhere and somehow skews the ball behind before Tanaka can tap home. So overall, first half defensively poor. We were poor defensively. We were poor going forward, giving up sloppy goals, and Leeds United were basically all over us. So really poor showing by us in the first half, unfortunately. But it is what it is. In terms of halftime stats, Man United had 55% possession compared to Leeds' 45%. But with that, we had 6 shots, 2 on target, 0.19 xG. So really poor showing by United in terms of going forward and defensively. Leeds, on the other hand, had 10 shots, 5 on target, 1.96 xG as well. So I think they would obviously deservedly going into halftime with the lead, with the tails up. It could have been 3-4, could have been 3-4-0 at halftime. But yeah, so we were a little bit unlucky. I think it was a poor showing by us. I think we weren't necessarily unlucky. I think Leeds definitely deserved the lead at half time. Then second half kicks off and it goes bad to worse for us, unfortunately. Lisandro Martinez is sent off for a red card. Replays show that there was a slight tug but seemingly deliberate on the ponytail of Calvert-Lewin by Lisandro Martinez, and on his return to the starting side, the Argentine is shown a straight red card by the referee, and it's a red card in my opinion. There's no excuses for that. I don't know what Lisandro Martinez is doing. Then in the 62nd minute, Goodmanson goes on a good run but drags a shot wide. In the 64th minute, Cunha has a shot after the ball is played over the top, but Darlow saves. Then, giving United some hope in the 69th minute, Casemiro makes it 2-1. He pops up on the edge of the left to win a corner of Bogle. Cunha's cross in is then headed behind by Bichol. After the initial delivery is cleared, Fernandez returns serve from the right. He whips in a corner. Peach of a cross to the far post. I'm not sure if it's a corner. I don't remember. Oh, it's not a corner. It's from the right hand side. On the right side of the pitch. From the right, he whips in a really good cross at the back post. So Casemiro arrives for a bullet header back across the face of goal into the far corner to make it 2-1. And that's a 17th assist for Bruno Fernandes. So he's chasing down a record held by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. So he might get it this season. Who knows? I'm doubting that. There's only a couple games left. It's a little bit doubtful that he could break that assist record. Hopefully he does, but we need to see how that goes. Then in the 70th minute, Mazraoui and Amadou go off for Dalot and Mbeumo. Then Calvert-Lewin has a header in the 78th minute, a free header from a Bogle cross, and Lemens has to make the save. Calvert-Lewin probably should be scoring there to make it 3-1 and basically ending the game. And then in the 80th minute, after a Casemiro delivery from the right is chased down by Cunha, he lets fly from a tight angle but can only send his half volley straight at Darlow. Then United win a corner in the 85th minute. Casemiro gets his head on it, but Calvert-Lewin clears it off the line. That was really good clearance by Calvert-Lewin. He kind of he sees the ball go over the top of him, then he goes back towards goal and goes towards the line and heads it off the line. And then Ugarte has a shot, from inside the box as well from that resulting corner, but it's blocked. So that's about it really. We definitely played better with 10 men. I don't know why that was, but how we had the game overall. I think it was a poor game by United in terms of defensively, giving up the goals that we did. Leeds United, obviously in the second half with the man advantage, they had a couple of opportunities on the break to put the game to bed, but unfortunately they couldn't. The Martinez sending off really set the game. It was a red card, of course. I don't know what he was thinking, and we potentially could have won the game if it was 11 versus 11 in the second half. But it is what it is. Second half we were much better, it has to be said, but we were down to 10 men and a little bit unfortunate. But it is what it is. Let's get into the player ratings and then we'll look at the league table as well. So Lemens has got a 5.7 here. Couldn't really have done much about the 2 goals that he conceded. One of them was deflected, and then the first one I don't quite remember, but 2 saves he's had to make. There you can see an 18 out of 24 accurate passes, 7 out of 12 accurate long balls, and duels he's not won any there. And then Mazraoui lasted 70 minutes, was okay, not amazing. Duels he's won 6 out of 9, so that's decent. Lenioro duels he's won 9. He's won 9 out of 12, which is decent. Won 75% of his duels, which is what we like to see. So that's good. Good performance by Lenioro in my opinion. Lisandro Martinez lasted 56 minutes because he was sent off for that red card, for that pull on Calvert-Lewin's ponytail. Like I mentioned, I don't know why he's doing. Shouldn't be doing that. 2 out of 4 duels won, and then Luke Shaw as well, with the 7 out of 11 duels won in total. Good performance. I think Luke Shaw had a decent game. He was okay. Casemiro has got 8.0 here, 8.0 rating on FootMob. Got the goal to kind of get us back into the game, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. In terms of his duels, he's won 7 out of 13, so he's done well in terms of his duels. But yeah, and then Manuel Ugarte, I thought he was okay as well. Had to fill in at centre back a couple of times when we did go down to 10 men. 7 out of 13 duels won. And then Ahmad, he was okay. Was a little bit poor going forward. It was a little bit missing at times in my opinion. 4 out of 6 duels won. And then Bruno Fernandes comes away with the assist. He's on 17 league assists right now, so hopefully he can break that record. And then he's won 3 out of 5 duels won. And then Cunha picks up the yellow card for that dive. Unfortunately, it was a dive, so we don't want to be looking at that. We don't want to be seeing that. 7 defensive contributions, which is really decent by Cunha. 6 touches in the opposition box. Cunha was very lively when he had a lively game. 4 shots here, you can see it's from his shot map. And then 6 out of 11 duels won in total. And then finally, Benjamin Sesko had a quiet game as well. I don't. Well, had a quiet game, but he's had a couple of shots here, all on target, I think. So yeah, all on target. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come away with the goal, but three shots, three on target. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to come away with the goal. But he's got a bright future. I think he'll do fine in terms of next season and stuff. So duels, he's won 6 out of 10. So he's done well in his duels. And then the substitutes, Diego Dallo, didn't really offer showed some glimpses, was okay going forward, and then 3 out of 5 duels won, and then Brandon Bumo, he's won. He didn't win a single duel, unfortunately. He was only on the pitch for 20 minutes, but I had one shot that was blocked, but that was about it really. So yeah, a little bit disappointing that we aren't coming away with the 3 points, especially because we were at home. The onus is on us to kind of take the game to Leeds United and just be better than them. Leeds are near the relegation zones for a reason. They're not a great side, but unfortunately, we had a poor first half, and that basically set the tune of the game. Basically, that poor first half that we had set the game. And if we had a better first half, and possibly if Martinez hadn't got sent off, then in the second half I think that we could have got something out of the game, possibly a draw, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. So disappointing performance, disappointing game. In terms of our loss, that was our 7th loss of the season. Let me just see if there's updates now. Yeah, I think it was our 7th loss of the season. I can't see it here, but yeah. So unfortunately, Leeds United are moving further from the relegation zone. So it was a big 3 points for Leeds. So they are 6 points clear off the relegation zone. Tottenham Hotspur are in 18th place, looking to get relegated. It'd be so joke if they get relegated, but yeah, unfortunately for us, we weren't able to pick up the 3 points. So we are tied on points with Aston Villa now. Liverpool are only 3 points behind us in 5th. And Chelsea, who we have next, away from home, difficult game coming up against Chelsea. They are a total of 2 + 5, 7 points behind. So Chelsea, I think if we get a draw against Chelsea, I think that we're pretty much secure for Champions League football. But a lot can still happen up until the end of the season. There's 6 games to play right now, 18 points. So a lot can happen up until the end of the season. So yeah, unfortunately we weren't able to pick up the 3 points this game. Disappointing performance, disappointing game. But yeah, we did have a better second half. But you need to be having a better first half if you are to be coming away with the 3 points. So yeah, next up we do have Chelsea away from home on the 18th of April. So yeah, anyway, hopefully we pick up 3 points against Chelsea. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.